It begins with silence. A city, once bustling with the rhythms of daily life, slowly quiets. Shops close, streets empty. Laughter fades into memory. But this is not a story of war or natural disaster or anything you might expect. This is the story of a place that tried, in every way it could, to erase itself. Welcome to Centralia, Pennsylvania. Or, more accurately, what's left of it. In the early 1960s, Centralia was an ordinary mining town. Red brick houses lined narrow streets. Children played in the yards. Smoke curled from chimneys. It wasn't famous, it wasn't rich, but it was home. And then beneath the surface, the ground itself began to change. It started with a small fire in a patch of coal left behind in an abandoned mine. At first, it seemed insignificant. Fires in mines weren't unusual, but this one didn't burn out. It spread underground, silently, invisibly. Through veins of coal and tunnels no one even knew existed, the fire traveled. And soon the city above began to feel its effects. People started noticing strange things. Smoke rising from cracks in the streets, pockets of heat in the soil, a faint, acrid smell of sulfur in the air. At first, authorities said it was nothing to worry about, just a few isolated incidents, they said. But the ground kept shifting. Houses developed cracks, roads buckled. People began to disappear into the heat of the earth. By the late 1970s, it became impossible to ignore. Scientists came, engineers came. They warned the residents. The fire was unstoppable, and the town was not safe. But this is where the story becomes strange, almost surreal. Because the city didn't simply burn, it slowly unmade itself. Government officials offered relocation. Families left. Businesses closed. Schools shut down. And as the people vanished, the city seemed determined to vanish with them. Streets reclaimed by weeds, buildings swallowed by shadows. Even the post office, the last symbol of daily life, closed in 1981. Centralia, in its quiet, persistent way, had become a ghost town. But it's not a ghost town in the way we imagine haunted houses or abandoned theme parks. There's something raw, almost poetic about it. Walk its empty streets and you can hear the echoes of the past. The faint whir of a swing moving in the wind, the whisper of a school bell long silent, the smell of smoke still rising, a reminder that the fire never truly dies. Experts have tried to explain it. Geologists speak in terms of underground coal seams and spontaneous combustion. Anthropologists talk about human attachment, about how communities anchor themselves to place, even in the face of danger. Psychologists describe it as collective grief, the slow, painful mourning of a city by the city itself. Yet Centralia is more than its fire. It is a testament to impermanence. It's a city that resisted forgetting, only to be forgotten anyway. People who left still remember. Former residents speak of it as if it were a living being, sometimes cruel, sometimes beautiful, always relentless. One woman said she dreams of her childhood home, even though it no longer exists. She said, "It's like the city follows you, even when you're miles away." And then there are the surprises. Beneath the cracked streets, the fire burns still. Scientists estimate it could continue for another century. The earth beneath the town is alive with heat, a reminder that some things refuse to be tamed. In a way, the city did not delete itself. It transformed into something that exists differently, invisibly, eternally. Walking through Centralia today is like stepping into a liminal space. Signs warn visitors of dangerous ground. Streets striped with smoke vents twist like veins across the landscape. Nature begins to reclaim what people abandoned. Trees grow through asphalt. Grass overtakes sidewalks. And yet in the quiet mornings, when fog drifts low across the hills, you can almost feel the heartbeat of the town. The people may be gone, but the city's memory pulses beneath the surface. This is the haunting lesson of Centralia, that a place is never just a location. It is memory. It is emotion. It is the cumulative weight of lives lived, of choices made, of catastrophes endured. The fire didn't just consume coal, it consumed the ordinary certainties of life. It forced an entire community to confront impermanence in the most literal way imaginable. And perhaps in its stubborn persistence, Centralia is also a warning about what happens when we exploit the earth beneath us, when we forget the invisible consequences of human ambition, about how fragile the systems we take for granted really are, about how memory, even in absence, can resist erasure. Yet there is a strange beauty here too, in the silence, in the ruins, in the resilience of the ground, still warm, still breathing. The city tried to delete itself, and in a way, it succeeded. And yet it also left behind something unerasable, a story, a caution, a memory carved in smoke, stone, and steel. When you leave Centralia, you carry it with you. Not the streets, not the houses, not the shops, they are gone. But the sense of wonder, the strange melancholy, the reminder that even in erasure, something endures, that stays with you. And perhaps that is the most human thing of all. Because Centralia did not vanish to punish anyone, it vanished simply because it could. And in its disappearance, it taught us to see what remains when everything else is gone. A city that tried to delete itself, and yet, somehow, it will never be forgotten.